Oh, good Lord. Just scooch over. Just a 1 inch, please. I did it, you guys. I did it. I counted 90 makeup palettes. And these are not even counting the ones I have at home. And these are not even counting my little drugstore itty bitty ones. I'm pretty sure I have over 110 makeup palettes. And I promised myself the second I bought that Alex 9 drawer, because I only have one, and there's a reason for that. I promised myself if it didn't fit in that one drawer, there was no need for me to have it. There was no need for me to own it. There was just too much, and I had to get rid and share the wealth and spread the love. My drawers right now overflowing with not just makeup palettes, but just palettes in general, blushes, bronzers, concealers. And I figured that I would purge at least my eyeshadow palettes because they're the bulkiest items, and we would make a day out of this and have a moment. I'm not gonna talk about and share every single palette because then this video would be an hour long and nobody wants that. At least I'm pretty sure nobody wants that. Do you want that? What's up? Hello? I have a box that I promised myself I'm going to fill, and I'm going to disperse these palettes amongst my sisters, my nieces, and my friends. Please, guys, please spare me the please send your used makeup to me. Guys, I do not feel comfortable doing that. I'm going to be giving this to like my sisters and like family members, and like we kind of know each other's germs a little bit. I feel so weird sending palettes that I've touched onto a complete stranger. Like I don't want to do that to you guys. This is why I do giveaways, and I try to do as many giveaways here as possible. But yeah, we're not gonna do that. So let's not ask that question. Let's not jump those boundaries. Let's get started though, however. All my KKW palettes are absolutely staying with me. These are some of my favorite palettes, guys. I know that KKW might not be the favorite, but she, in my opinion, does really good with her formula. I mean, it's not the greatest formula I've ever tried, I'm not gonna lie, but it's really good, okay? And her mattes, when it comes to tones, she does excellent. My favorite palette of hers, I think, has to be probably her classic palette. My Makeup Geek palettes are absolutely staying with me. This is actually a new one. This is their summer collection. I forgot the name of it. I'll try to pop it up around here. I love Makeup Geek's eyeshadows. They're my favorite eyeshadows on the planet. If you guys are interested in trying Makeup Geek shadows, I'll go ahead and pop up my coupon code because I do have a coupon code. It's just a coupon code. It's not an affiliate code. I do not make any commission off the sales or anything. This was a deal that I wanted to make just for you guys. I wanted you guys to just be able to treat yourself to something nice and not feel like I'm trying to get anything out of this relationship. I love Makeup Geek eyeshadows. I believe in them. I trust them, and you guys should definitely try them. This Bob Ross but not Bob Ross Memento, I'm definitely handing off. I had my fun with this, guys. I think we had our fun together. I wore overalls that video. I was also wearing my boyfriend's boxers because the overalls were kind of rough, but I looked cute, and that's all that mattered. The Beauty Bakery Banana Pudding palette, I love this palette. This one is definitely staying with me. The Kathleen Lights So Jaded palette, I did a whole video on this palette, and the reason I wanted to get it was, one, the palette is super cute, but two, I love my girl Kathleen Lights. She's not my girl because she doesn't like know me, at least not yet, but a girl can dream, okay? The Essence Which Side palette, I love this palette, but I have so many neutrals, and I just feel like, honestly, I think my sister would really enjoy this palette. She loves neutral eyeshadows, and she's been asking me for eyeshadow palettes, so I think I'm gonna pass this along, but to be completely honest with you guys, I might repurchase it. I don't know. Makeup Geek, we've been through this. She's staying with me. Can we talk about how gorgeous this palette is? Every time I see it, I am the most satisfied. I love her. The KKW Artist and Muse collaboration, I'm absolutely keeping this palette because it's her. One day I'll give you guys a blue moment. The Taco palette, we had our fun. You can go now. One of my nieces would actually die for this palette, so I'm definitely gonna pass this on to her. The LA Girl Pro palette, I love this palette. If you guys still are sleeping on these palettes, I don't know what you are doing. Honestly, some of the best eyeshadows I've ever seen in the drugstore. Are you blinded yet or what? The Kylie You're So Money Baby, while this palette palette made me change my mind completely about Kylie Cosmetics. And even though I love the idea and like the whole theme of this palette, I thought it was really cute. And again, this one was kind of like the converter. I'm definitely gonna give this one away. I just have so many palettes like it, and I have a niece who's such a big fan of Kylie Cosmetics, so I'm definitely passing it on. The Wet n Wild palettes, I think I'm gonna keep the My Melody. This one's just a little too dark for me, guys. I never play with colors like this, and even though it might terrify my sisters, for my nieces to play with this eyeshadow palette, they're just gonna have to deal. The Norvina ABH collection, I actually really like this eyeshadow palette, guys. I do be playing with this palette whenever I don't film. I have a lot of fun with her, and I am so excited for the fall time because this is such a fall time palette, and it is one of the most pigmented palettes I own. Like, this one is full of pressed pigments and color and variety, and just the packaging and the mirror. I also do be having like the biggest crush on Norvina, and she's not going anywhere. My Violet Voss Pro eyeshadow palette. For some reason, guys, I can't part with this. I don't know why, but I cannot. Love of my life. I own 3 of these palettes. One I keep here, one I keep at home, one is a backup. And I'm not partying with any of them. I'm so obsessed with this palette. Like, I still to this day, I'm like, how did she do this? Like, how did she get glitters to do this? It's not fair. You're not real. You're incredible, and I love you, and I will never part with this. I think, honestly, if I were to go that super minimalist, if I were to be that girl, I'd probably keep this and my Makeup Geek palettes and call it a day. And I really would be happy. The Lorac Pro palette. This palette I've had for years, guys. Do you guys remember when this came out? This came out like 5 years ago, something like that, and I've had this palette since it launched. Can you tell how much I loved Melon? This is such a good palette. I love this palette, and one of the reasons I cannot part with this palette, as much as I might want to, because she's really old, I honestly don't even use her, it's because when he was still deeply in the friend zone, just chilling there being all cute, my boyfriend bought me this, and he surprised me with it because it was pretty sold out at the Ulta where I tried to get it at, and then he picked me up from work one day because I needed a ride, and he surprised me with it. It was in the glove compartment, and he asked me to reach for something, and then I saw it in there, and I was really excited, and he's the best. I know, what took me so long, right? This one! I remember like liking KKW eyeshadow palettes, and then this one came out. You see it too, right? Like, it's not just me. I love how you can super see my brow. This is such a good eyeshadow palette. One of my favorite looks I ever created was with this collection on my channel. Oh my god. A bitch doesn't play with color that much, but give her reds, coppers, and oranges, mírala. The Naked Honey, I think, was one of my favorite palettes of last year, period. I've already touched on this, but the Naked Honey. The Naked Honey palette was one of my favorite palettes last year. I convinced all of my friends that were just beginning with makeup to get this palette because it's such a beginner friendly eyeshadow palette. Urban Decay's eyeshadow formula is a little bit stiffer, but because it's stiffer and it does come with a pigment, it works really well for people who are just kind of starting out and want to treat themselves to a nice palette. I think Urban Decay really landed such an easy formula, such a beginner friendly formula, but such a pretty formula, and I love, 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 love this palette. And the Ultraviolet one, I just have a lot of fun with it. I just really like the purples in that palette. I'm probably gonna get rid of the collab ones just because, like, I don't really need this, guys. I used it for a video. Do I love collab eyeshadow palettes? Yes. If this is the only thing you can afford, or if you're in a pinch and you only got a Sally's near you and you're just like, Gloria, hey, do they work? They super work. This eyeshadow palette, I don't think I'll ever part with. This one is just so close to my heart. I have always loved Makeup Geek's eyeshadows. Every time I got them in like my boxy charms, I would be so excited because like I couldn't afford to just get Makeup Geek eyeshadows for the longest time. This was the first palette I ever bought off of the Makeup Geek website that I ever customized and bought and purchased myself, and I'm so in love with this palette. Every time I see it, it just screams me. This was such a defining moment in my life because I couldn't afford a Makeup Geek eyeshadow palette for the longest time, and then I got one and I was able to completely make it my own, and it's just such a full circle kind of moment for me. I don't know how to explain it, guys. I really love Makeup Geek eyeshadows. Again, I think they're the best in the game. I know you guys are gonna try and clock me for that, and there's so much competition right now in the world that you guys are probably like, Gloria, how can you really say that? I don't know what it is, guys. I think my preference being like look how the pigment just keeps going. They're stupid good. They're dumb good. I'm literally at a loss for words. but I love this eyeshadow palette so much. The memory and like the significance that it like holds. The gratitude is so real when it comes to this palette, and I will never part with it. I never will. The Kendall palette by Kylie Cosmetics. I had my fun with it, guys, but again, I just think my niece, who is such a big fan of Kylie Cosmetics, would really enjoy this. So I'm gonna pass on the joy, the happiness. e.l.f. times J. Kissa collection. I feel like I can't justify keeping this even though I completely customized it already, because I have the Norvina one and the Kathleen Lights one. I just feel like I have these colors, and again, I'm really trying my hardest to not hoard, guys, because if I could, I would keep all of these palettes. I really would. The Hola Chola collection by Becky G. I think I'm gonna keep this one because I actually really like to travel with it because it's got a mirror and it's got all the mattes I need, and again, other excuses I like to tell myself. I just really like this palette, okay? The Baked Browns by Dose of Colors. I just have way too many neutrals to justify it. And my sister loves this eyeshadow palette. I think she got the same exact one in her BoxyCharm, but she broke hers. So I'm gonna be the best little sister ever. I'm also gonna give this one to my other niece who loves baking and loves makeup, so bada bing, bada boom. I kind of hate leaving on a negative note, and I don't want to get too into it. I think there's too much controversy right now, okay? And I'm pretty sure my input is so small, it really is very much invalid. Again, because I know this one is definitely gonna spark those questions, I'm not gonna send these to you guys, okay? They're used, they're touched, they're swatched. I threw up on this one. I don't know if y'all remember, but my acid reflux does. I honestly almost feel bad giving this to my cousin, but I just know that they'll get better use out of it, guys. I think it's time to kind of turn over a new leaf. And while El Compadre Jeffrey obviously brought us a ton of memories, a bunch of good times, I don't really want my channel to ever become an item of controversy. I just want this channel to be fun and good times and dumb jokes and pink drinks and yeah. So I'm definitely gonna give these away. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, they're great eyeshadow palettes. I wasn't lying there. Stupid pigmented, will stain your eye. Obviously the packaging is an experience. There's no hate, and later on down the road, I don't know, I might change my mind, but at this point in time, these are really taking up a lot of space in my makeup drawer, and it's just too much floating on in the air. Again, I just want my channel to be a positive and happy place, okay? And I'll leave you guys with that. Look at me go. Look at that, guys. She really did that. I'm just so tired. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and watching me purge. You know what would be a fun video if I tried to do my makeup using each one of these palettes? Please don't ask me to do that. Oh my god. As much as I don't want to be a hoarder, how do I explain this? It's my job. And this is a write-off. This is a write-off. This is a write-off. Ultraviolet, no. This is, oh my god, the naked write-off. It's a write-off. This is a business.